guys, today I want to talk about The Cut. I want to talk about The Cut. Have you heard about The Cut? Well, it's this journalism website, whatever. Well, you could barely call it journalism, but it is the gift that keeps on giving. Let me tell you, because the articles that are posted to this website are something special. If you haven't heard about The Cut, it's basically this lifestyle mag where mostly women post their little opinion pieces, and honestly, I'm kind of burying the lead here. It's just people being messy. Extremely messy, but in essay format. I am obsessed with reading The Cut. Do I have a subscription? No. I want to talk about two articles because two articles are coming to mind right now. The day I put $50,000 in a shoebox and handed it to a stranger, I never thought I was the kind of person to fall for a scam. And age gap relationships, the case for marrying an older man, which we'll get to. Let's start off with the day I put $50,000 in a shoebox and handed it to a stranger. I never thought I was the kind of person to fall for a scam, which, by the way, was posted by The Cut's financial advice columnist. The girl who runs their financial advice column got scammed out of $50,000. This is crazy. And like I said, these articles are messy. They are so messy, and it's great to read. Here is how this gift of an article opens. I have not been able to stop thinking about this article since it was posted in February. On a Tuesday evening this past October, I put $50,000 in cash in a shoebox, taped it shut as instructed, and carried it to the sidewalk in front of my apartment, my phone clasped to my ear. "Don't let anyone hurt me," I told the man on the line, feeling pathetic. "You won't be hurt," he answered. "Just keep doing exactly as I say." The man on the phone knew my home address, my social security number, the names of my family members, that my 2-year-old son was playing in our living room. He told me my home was being watched, my laptop had been hacked, and we were in imminent danger. Okay, so basically the gist of this article is that this lady is instructed by this scam caller, like this obvious spam caller, right? Who tells her that he's from Amazon and he's going to refer her to the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. And apparently the Central Intelligence Agency is like, "We already have a case open on you. Your identity's been stolen, and we found your ID in a car somewhere, and now you're being implicated in a crime." And look, I have a lot of sympathy for people who fall for scams. I have fallen for scams before, much lower stakes than this. I don't think I would fall for this. I don't know about you, but I'm not picking up the phone. That's where it ends with me. I'm not picking up the phone. If you cannot go to my voicemail, you can't talk to me. I'm sorry. Who's putting $50,000 in a shoebox in cash? Who's taking out $50,000 in cash, putting it into a shoebox? But I digress. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So these con artists essentially tell this poor financial columnist that she is implicated in this crime, and if she does not cooperate to the best of her ability, then she is going to go to jail, literally. The CIA agent even goes as far as to tell her to lie to her husband, which should have been a red flag. These people successfully convince her that all of her communications are being monitored to the point where she needs to lie to her husband because she would be resisting their investigation if she didn't cooperate, which honestly, none of this makes sense. And this kind of story, no offense to her, but this is so embarrassing that, like, I would never, if this happened to me, I would never tell anyone. I would go to my grave with this. And she's just telling the world, this is the beauty of Cut. This is the beauty of The Cut. You get the most embarrassing stories of people's lives that they should absolutely keep a secret, you know? Normalize secrets. 2025. That's my campaign. So the criminals convince this woman that she needs to withdraw as much cash as possible for her to live off of for the next few months to a year or so, as long as this investigation is going on. Which should be a red flag. I don't know what CIA officer is going to be looking out for you in that way, because his reasoning was that if you take out the money and you give it to us, then it's clean money and you can use it as you wish. Which makes no freaking sense. If it's cash, just use the cash. There's no connection to you anyway. Like, what the fuck? And meanwhile, keep in mind, this is all happening on Halloween. She has kids. And she's trick-or-treating with them. And this con artist convinces her to go to the bank, withdraw $50,000 while on the phone with him. And here's the craziest part of the story. The bank tellers just don't do anything. Like, they don't say anything. I feel like you should not be legally able to withdraw $50,000 in cash without advance written notice. You know, that just seems like a good idea. Just like you shouldn't be able to buy like $10,000 worth of Visa gift cards at a CVS. You know, I just think, whatever. Like, I'm not saying that the bank shouldn't let you withdraw any amount of money from your bank account because it's your money, right? You should be able to do with it what you want. But they should at least ask you if you're being coerced. That seems reasonable to me. Michael was on speakerphone in my pocket. I asked the teller for $50,000. The woman behind the thick glass window raised her eyebrows, disappeared into a back room, came back with a large metal box of $100 bills, and counted them out with a machine. Then she pushed the stack of bills through the slot, along with a piece of paper warning me against scams. I thanked her and left. That is not how that should go down. And at this point, the lady's like, I don't really think you're legit. Like, at the point where she takes out $50,000, she's starting to have some doubts. So she asks the CIA agent that she's on the phone with for proof, and he sends her a photo of his badge, which is, like, kind of useless. You know, pro tip, if you're ever in a situation like this where you're doubting the authenticity of the call that you're on, hang up and call an official number connected to whatever government agency you're supposedly talking to or whatever company you're supposedly talking to. Or you could just take out $50,000 in a shoebox and hand it to a random man in a car. That works too. So she puts all of her money into this floral shoebox, and the CIA guy tells her that he's going to close down her social security number, and she's going to lose access to all of her bank accounts, and she's going to have to go to the social security office to get a new social security number, and he's going to secure the money for her in a government locker and hand deliver a treasury check for the same amount. You can cash the check and use it for your expenses until the investigation is over. And she rightfully asks, why can't I just use the cash? Because that's a great question to ask in this scenario. Why do you have to take it out and give me a check? And he gives her the reasoning that because all of her assets under your current identity are part of the investigation. You are being charged with money laundering. If we secure this cash and then issue you a government check under your new social security number, this will be considered clean money. That makes no goddamn sense. Cash is cash. Cash is cash. You can always just use the cash. Nobody from the government is ever gonna ask you anything like this. And honestly, like, if you're ever in a situation where you have $50,000 in your hands and you're like, should I give this to a random person in an unmarked vehicle? Maybe hang up. Take a few seconds. Take maybe like 30 minutes to just take a walk. You know, take a walk around the block. Think about it for a second. Think about it. Maybe discuss it with your husband like they told you not to do, you know? Like, why are you listening to these random people over your husband? I understand. I have a lot of sympathy for people who get scammed. It's very easy for somebody to pose as an authority figure, somebody that you need to listen to. But that's why you gotta be strong. That's why you gotta stay strong. You gotta stay vigilant. You gotta not listen to anybody. Never listen to somebody solely because they claim that they're important. Don't do that. So it's Halloween night, 6:06 p.m. Way past my bedtime. She goes to meet the SUV at the curb and puts the money in the back seat. And the windows are tinted. And the guy's wearing a baseball cap so she can't see the driver's face. And her husband and child are watching from the window above. Like, what the hell is our mama doing? And she hands off $50,000 in cash, in liquid cash that she just had, that she was just able to withdraw, which is like the craziest part of the story. Like, you have $50,000 that you can just get rid of. Cool. And basically immediately after, she realizes that she's been scammed. And she curses him out, but like honestly, none of that even matters at that point because like, duh.
What did you think? What did you think would happen? What did you think would come of this?
She says, you were lying to me. Michael was lying. You just took my money and I'm never getting it back. You're a fucking liar. I hissed and hung up. Like I said, couldn't be me. No offense, but couldn't be me. But let me know, would that happen to you? Would you hand off $50,000 in liquid cash to a random driver in an unmarked vehicle just with blind trust in the US government? Let me know. I would love to know who I can scam. By popular demand, here's my cat. This is Bagel. Okay, the next article is called The Case for Marrying an Older Man. A woman's life is all work and little rest. An age gap relationship can help. And I'm going to be completely transparent. I have not read this one yet. I have just seen a lot of grumblings on Twitter about it. This article opens with the line, "In the summer in the south of France, my husband and I like to play, rather badly, the lottery. We take long, scorching walks to the village, gratuitous beauty, gratuitous heat, kicking up dust in languid debates over how we'd spend such an influx. I purchased scratch-offs, jackpot tickets, scraping the former with euro coins in restaurants too fine for that. I never cash them in, nor do I check the winning numbers, for I already won something like the lotto with its gifts and its curses when he married me. He is 10 years older than I am. I chose him on purpose, not by chance. As far as life decisions go, on balance, I recommend it." 10 years is not that much of an age gap to be making a fuss about. I'm sorry. If you are a full-fledged adult, like if you are 25 or older, I really don't care. I really don't think it matters if you're 25 and you're dating like a 35-year-old. I don't think that's that crazy. If you're 20 and you're dating a 30-year-old, that's a little bit iffy. I'm not gonna lie. I know that age gaps are a hot topic nowadays, and I would love to contribute to the discourse because I have a lot to say. So let me know if you would like to hear that. But my feelings are honestly do what you want, but also a 10-year age gap is not that much to write about. I'm sorry. So blah, blah, blah. She's going to Harvard. She's in business school. And she says, in one cavernous, well-appointed room sat approximately 50 of the planet's most suitable bachelors. I had high breasts, most of my eggs, plausible deniability when it came to purity, a flush ponytail, a pep in my step that had yet to run out. Apologies to progress, but older men still desired those things. Girl! Girl, what the hell? Oh man, I would not be able to have a conversation with this woman. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh man, this is some fanfic ass right. This is like Wattpad. She's over here quoting Lolita over a freaking 10-year age gap. Come on. You took advantage of my disadvantage, which is a line from a story written about a PDF file. I wouldn't compare this situation to Lolita. Like, I don't think the same thing is happening here. She says, my husband isn't my partner. He's my mentor, my lover, and only in certain contexts, my friend. I'll never forget it, how he showed me around our first place like he was introducing me to myself. This is the wine you'll drink, where you'll keep your clothes. We vacation here. This is the other language we'll speak. You'll learn it. And I did. Adulthood seemed a series of exhausting obligations, but his logistics ran so smoothly that he simply tacked mine on. I moved into his flat, onto his level, drag and drop, cleaner thrice a week, bills automatic. By opting out of partnership in my 20s, I granted myself a kind of compartmentalized, liberating selfishness. Anyway, the rest is just a bunch of waffling about how she lives in an apartment that he pays, and she's not allowed to be angry with him, and she has to be this docile, sweet wife, and always be thankful for the things that she has and be peaceful, whatever. Honestly, the whole piece just sucks. It's garbage. The whole article is basically about how she married for money, which is a respectable position to have, but also not always the best idea. And the comments are ripping into her, and they're honestly spitting, saying, if you marry for money, you're going to be paying for it for the rest of your life. Facts. A little bit of advice to anybody who thinks that that sort of lifestyle is appealing. The lifestyle where you're financially dependent on another person, a person that's your romantic partner. You gotta have some financial independence. You gotta have a way out. It's okay, I understand you're probably super in love with him, but also, like, you gotta have an option B. I'm just saying, because what if he cheats? What if things don't turn out well? What if he's an abuser? What if he's abusive? You don't know that yet. We never know what the future holds. And she's writing this article as a 27-year-old married to a 37-year-old. Come on, that's my age. That's my age. And I've dated much older than that. Much older. Far, far older. And it didn't always work out, I will tell you that. But here's my main thing with this article. If you're going to Harvard Business School, you shouldn't need to be financially dependent on a man. You should be going your own way. Hashtag WigTow. Women going their own way. She should be carving out her own future right now. That might have been a crazy age gap when they first got together, but 27 and 37 is not even gonna raise an eyebrow in most communities. Nobody's gonna bat an eyelash when you're 50 and he's 60. Like, come on. Anyway, highly recommend reading The Cut. As I said, it is the gift that keeps on giving. I gotta go though. Let me know if you have any ideas for me, because I'm just brain empty. Nothing in here. Nothing's rattling between these ears. Nope. I'm gonna go. Bye.